Hi everyone, I'm Wendy, and today I'm showing you how to make my quinoa salad. This is one of my favorite meals for a hot summer day when you want something cold and light but still filling. It also travels really well, so it's a great lunch to take to the office, a picnic, or on a road trip. As you might expect, the base of this salad is quinoa. I like to use this tri-colored quinoa, but any variety is great. I have 1 cup that I've rinsed really well, and I'm adding that to my 3-quart Instant Pot with 1.5 cups of water. I set it to cook for 3 minutes at high pressure, let it do a natural release, and then I fluff it with a fork. Of course, if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can easily cook this on the stovetop following the package directions. I prefer to cook the quinoa ahead of time so that I can chill it in the fridge before I add all of my veggies. And speaking of veggies, this recipe is really flexible, using whatever beans and veggies you like. Of course, the exact amounts are also up to you, but I will include a written recipe with the amounts that I've used in the blog post linked below the video. I also like to cut up the veggies in really small pieces so I get a little bit of everything in every bite. My usual combo for this salad is red onion, celery, bell peppers, tomatoes, and cucumbers. Then I load it up with tons of fresh parsley. The recipe calls for 1/2 cup, but this is probably closer to a cup. And sometimes I also like to add black olives, and last but not least, a can of chickpeas. I dress this salad very simply with red wine vinegar and stone ground mustard. Sometimes I also use balsamic vinegar or a Dijon mustard. The possibilities for how you vary the salad are endless. Of course, you could use any other veggies you like or different beans. Sometimes, instead of using chickpeas in the salad, I'll just mix up a nice portion of hummus with my vinegar and use that as the dressing. Once you stir everything together, you can eat this salad as is or serve it over a bed of greens. I also make similar salads using other grains like sorghum, millet, or different kinds of rice. As I mentioned at the beginning, this meal travels really well. I first shared the recipe in another video about a mini road trip that I took last year. It was kind of a fun video if you want to check it out, and I'll put a link to it up here on screen. Hit the thumbs up if you love a really refreshing quinoa salad, and let me know in the comments, how might you change it up to make it your own? I'm always inspired by your ideas in the comments. So thanks for watching, liking, and commenting, and I hope to see you next time.